In this video, I'm going to have Adam kind of show the testing, and I'm going to kind of talk as he does it and show you guys. Now, the number one thing is all you need is two people to do this. So if you're doing this with your kid, you could just be the one with the stopwatch. They do the drill. Now, the biggest question I know that's going to be asked is, how long in between the testing do I take or let my kid rest? And my best advice in anything, not just the stopwatch secrets, but in anything, is let them rest as long as they need until they do that next rep or until they do that next set. Oftentimes you see athletes that are like, they're dying, their hands are on their hips, they feel like they're gonna puke, or their hands are on their knees, feel like they're gonna puke, and then it's like, all right, next rep. It's like, okay, you're crushing that kid's nervous system, you're making them slower, you're making them less agile, they're not gonna be as explosive. So you wanna let them rebuild, almost like an energy bar in like Mortal Kombat, right? Like if you're throwing a bunch of punches, then you're gonna lower that energy bar and then your punches are gonna get weaker. Same thing goes for speed and agility. The more punches you throw, the weaker you're gonna get. And the more that you're moving around, the slower you're gonna get. And when you start training slow, you start becoming slow. So everything you do with your kid, they have to be fast. All right, everything with this testing, it's gotta be full go, let them rest. So for one of your kids, it might be a minute rest. For the other, it might be 30 seconds. And if you have a third kid, it might be 2 minutes. Whatever it takes for them to feel like, all right, I'm good to go, I'm good to compete. The mindset of this workout is, I'm gonna compete. The kid's gotta look at it as, I'm beating my old score, or I'm beating my brother, or my teammate, or my best friend, or whatever. They have to look at it as competition. So instilling the competition in the child is just as important, if not more important. And in the Stopwatch Secrets video, the like classroom style video where I just talk and shoot from the hip and talk to you, that I actually go a little bit deeper into the psychology, so I'm not gonna touch on it too much, but really take this stuff serious. I promise you. That is how you're gonna build a competitor, by getting them to show up to the training wanting to beat it. Not showing up to the training because you're making them or because they're just going through the reps. They have to do it, okay? They have to be there to beat themselves or their brother or their sister or their friend. So remember that when you're going through this. Now, and I'll talk a little more on it as he goes in case he needs a rest. I'm not gonna give him as much rest as your kid's gonna get, only to make the video a little shorter for you. But, so the first drill that we're gonna do, we're just gonna, so an imaginary line, actually I can make one right here. So he's just gonna go on this line, and he's gonna go side to side on the line as fast as he can. Now, as soon as he comes over the line, I'm gonna count 1 rep. And a lot of you may have seen us do this drill, whether it's on YouTube or in another product. And the reason I reuse this drill so much, and a lot of these drills, because they work. And I promise you they work. But the most important part that I really don't touch on much is the competitive spirit. Make them beat their score, challenge them. Right? Get one kid talking to the other kid like, oh, I'm gonna beat you. Like, build that camaraderie within this testing and within the Stopwatch Secrets, and watch the attitude change. I'm talking on and off the field. They're gonna be more agile, they're gonna be faster, but their whole attitude will start to change and they'll have that little swagger, and they're gonna feel more confident just by seeing themselves progressively get better. Okay, if they can get better and they can see it, oh, I started at a 21, now I'm at a 23, now I'm at a 25, now I'm at a 27. If they can slowly see themselves getting better, they're gonna get more committed and they're gonna get more determined to beat everybody else, okay? All right, so you guys walk through it. You don't gotta go full, unless you wanna go full go. You wanna go full go?
I'll go full go.
All right, cool. So,
I gotta beat my last score.
yeah, what was your high?
I think we were doing like 28 when we did last year.
Yeah, I think
I don't even play sports anymore.
yeah, I think his high was like 28 or 29 when we trained. We went, that's a whole nother animal. We did 7 workouts. He went from never dunking in his life, and he threw down his first dunk when he was in college. He was interning with Twice Speed, and he threw down a dunk within 5 weeks or something like that. We have video footage of that. That's a whole nother animal, though. All right, so this one, we're gonna get in. You're gonna go out or over the line. So here will be the line. Boom. And you're gonna, every time he gets over that line, I'm gonna count 1. As soon as he makes a movement, I'm gonna start the watch. Okay? So I'll put it closer to my mic so you can actually hear when my watch starts. Stop. 31. It's 31. So notice, there is no right form for this, by the way. And what I want, so you notice on some of them, he's coming, so he's here, and then he starts twisting a little bit and he's getting over. The point of these drills is fast movement laterally, quick, boom, 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 as fast as you can go, right? So even if one is a little sloppier or something like that, just don't have your kids stop. Have them just go through, all right? And what's gonna happen is your kid's gonna wanna retest. Like, even if we tell you, and there will be sets and reps included with this, but even if we tell you, okay, do 1 set or do 2 sets or whatever we tell you to do for each one, your kid's gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna do it again. I can beat it. And they're gonna wanna do it again right then and there. I can promise you, once they become more competitive, they're gonna wanna do it. So that's the first one. So you beat your high, 31. So getting over 30, would be, I would consider very good. Very, very good. The best I've ever seen was CJ. He got like 38. That was the fastest ever. And he did it 3 or 4 times a week, or I would say 2 or 3 times a week for like 5 years. But that's the first one. Second one, we're going to go back and forth. So towards me. Yep. Here, you're going to face me. And now I'll draw the line here. So now he's going to go on and off that line or over that line. And I'm going to count every time. $26. Good. So we got 31, we got 26, and write these down. So this is where you could actually use your phone. You can pull out your notes or whatever in your phone. Write down, okay, testing 1 or week 1, 31 on quick feed alternate or quick feed lateral, 26. You just get 26 on quick feed back and forth, right? And then you're gonna go into the next one. Now I'm gonna let them rest. And sometimes I'll, like, as the trainer with the athlete, just so I can know like their wind, because as I get to know clients or when I was training camps or kids, I would actually get to know their wind, and I would see when I knew he was good, I would actually look at the watch. So then 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, next workout, I kind of know where he stands, right? Because everyone's got different like oxygen capacity, and they have different VO2 maxes. So I actually just watch the athlete's mannerisms, and if your kid's like breathing heavy or moving around, you could even start to stopwatch them on the side and just look. It's like, okay, at 30 seconds, he looks like he looks good, right? And then ask them, are you good to go? And they might say yes or no. But usually they're going to be like, yeah, I'm good to go, but you want to make sure they're good to go before every single rep. Because if I were to have him go and I didn't just take this minute in between or however long this just took, he would get a slower time on that last one, and that's doing him a disservice. The difference between him getting a 27-28 and if I made him just go right into it 20 seconds later and he drops down to a 24-25, he is now a 24-25 fast twitch speed, right? His muscles are firing at a 24-25. He's not firing at that 27-28 that all he needed was an extra 30 seconds. Give up 30 seconds to get that speed. That is the one thing I want to beat into everyone's head. All the athletes, all the parents, you have to give time to the kid so they can go at full go. I promise it will make a big difference. All right, now quick feet alternate. Face me. So now you're gonna start staggered like this. So he's got 1 foot essentially on the line, so the line would be like right here. He's got 1 foot on the line, 1 foot behind the line. When that right foot comes forward, he's gonna alternate his feet, and when the right foot comes forward, that will count as the first rep. So right on this foot, as soon as the foot goes forward, we'll count the first rep, and as soon as I see him move is when my stopwatch goes. Stop, 27. What did I call? That's a ninja right there that I knew he was gonna get 27. Now, he would have gotten 24-25 had I made him do it within 20 seconds. Another fact. I know what I'm doing. Like I said, I am the human laser. Like I don't need laser equipment. I could pinpoint anything with a stopwatch. I can promise you. So not the last one, but the next one is wideouts. So for this one, we're not actually gonna draw. I mean, I guess you could draw a little bit, but all you're gonna have them do is just get in a stance just like this, almost like they're playing defensive basketball or like a linebacker stance, shoulder width apart roughly, maybe a little bit wider than shoulder, but probably about shoulder. And then they're just gonna go outwards, okay? So it's gonna be boom, boom. Actually, if you wanna have them go inside their shoulders, just because the little kids will have shorter legs. So they're gonna come here, shoulders, and then boom, in, in, in. So when you're doing it fast, it would be like this. Okay, and then every time he comes in, or every time he goes out, so he'll start in, and then that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. All right, so you'll start shoulder width, and then we'll work our way out. For the older guys, you can start a little wider just because they're stronger and they can hold it. Here, let's turn this way. Actually, it'd be better for. So start shoulder width, and then I'm gonna count every time they come out. Stop, 26. Now notice there was a couple where he didn't even go in and out. Just count that as the rep, and just to stay true with it. Or if you want to count that as a false, you can count it as a false. So he got 26, maybe he messed up too. 24. The goal of this is to just give them a concrete score that they then can beat. So if you're gonna do it one way from the beginning, just stick with the way that you choose. I'm losing my voice, I'm talking so much. So in my case, I would just count that as a rep personally. If the kid screws up, I count it as a rep because I know they would have gotten that rep and they just made a little mistake. But if they're like going like this and then they just start like doing that, that's not 3 reps. So it'd be like 1, 2, and then 3, and so on, okay? Just to make that clear. All right, so another thing that we're gonna talk about, the 10, the 20, and the 40. So we're done with these drills right here. So those are the 4 that you're gonna do. The alternate, or the lateral back and forth, the front and backwards, the alternate, and then the wideouts. Now, after you're done with that, we're not gonna even do it here just because we don't have line markers. I guess we could walk a little bit over here. Here, start on the line. So from here, we actually had the space, but it just won't look right on the camera. But essentially all you're gonna do is you're gonna measure out. I'll grab this football and kind of measure it out. You'll measure out with a tape measure and just mark off 10 yards. So I'll just mark it off my feet. Boom. That would be the 10. And then you'd mark off 20. So maybe even that base right there, that might even be 20. But you would mark it off the 10, the 20, and the 40. Okay? So you have that all. Now, if you have multiple kids, or maybe if you're a man and your wife is with you, you could have your wife be on 1 on the 20 or whatever. However you want to make it work. If you do have multiple stopwatches, some of you actually do have multiple stopwatches from twice speed, so you guys could actually run the full thing and with just our stopwatches, and then you'd be good to go. But if you don't use your cell phone. Please don't use it. It's not going to be accurate. Only use the stopwatch and just have them run it multiple times. So you would start and you'd have them run the 10, boom, and then you get that time. You write it down in your notes. The only time you can use your phone is that time when you're writing down the scores. Now, then you move back to the 20. You give them rest. Give them 2 or 3 minutes. Let them recoup. Ask them if they're okay. Watch their body language. Okay? You're going to start to pick up on these mannerisms. By the 3rd week doing this, you're going to be able to just know how long it's going to take for them to be ready. You want them to be ready because you want them going full go. So then you go back to the 20. So now I'm over here. And now he'd run the 20. So the key with this, do you have a good shot of me, by the way? I don't want to like walk out of the screen good. All right, so the key to this is when I do stopwatches, and the best way to do stopwatches, and the closer you get in doing the stopwatch, the more precise you have to be, okay? The more precise you have to be from here as opposed to back there. And as you get further, it gets a little easier. You don't have to be precise. Because if you're off by a 10th here, it's a lot different than being off by a 10th there with your finger. Like if you're a 10th slow with your finger, it's going to be a bigger difference on the 10 than it would be on the 40, okay? So we'll go back to the 20. We're going to get him here. Now, as I get far, what I usually do is I stand here and I point my stopwatches, and if I have a string on it, I actually point the string like this. And that's why I call myself the human laser. And I never even saw anyone doing it, but I almost treat it like a sniper style, where it's like as soon as I see that person move, I want to be so precise that I'm going to be on the line that they're going through. I'm here, and he moves. As soon as it's on him, you let them run. You don't drop your hand. You let them go on them. As soon as you see them move, it's here. Bing, and then I just wait, and now I'm just watching, and now I'm staring at an imaginary line. And the first thing I see past that line, I'm going like this, and when I literally close one eye, and I stop. And a lot of times, like even in my YouTube videos, you'll see me, I'm like this, and then I go like that. And I drop my hand, I try to slam my hand as soon as I see them go past me. So to bring it a little closer, I don't know what type of angle we got there, but if we were doing it right here, it'd be the same thing. So on the 10, and you don't have to get down on your knee if you really don't want. Like I take this really seriously if you can't tell, but if you just want to stand here and do it, that's perfectly fine. But if you want the best to see what's going on, it is better to get right here because you'll see everything, right? And that's why the lasers, if you ever watch like Olympic sports or even at track meets that have lasers, or even like the NFL Combine, they all use laser, like electric timing, and it's like right here, right? The reason is because usually the first thing that's going through is a knee or some part of the leg. So that's where it's going through. So you're going to see that. If you're up here, you might be looking at their shoulder while their knee's crossed. So you want to be precise. And that's why I'm the human laser. So I would watch. So if you want to just show one, we'll do a 10. Yeah. So it'd be here as soon as he moves. Boom. That's how I would do it. And I got a 169. And pull out your stopwatch. Oh, you didn't get to see when he left. I was going to say if they pull out their stopwatch and they all did it, to see if they would get 169. That would actually be kind of funny. We'll do that in another video. I'll guess that time, and I'll guess just blind. Okay, so that's the 10. That's the 20. And the 40, same thing. get down, do the same thing. You point that stopwatch. As soon as they move, start, and then you can drop your hand. You don't have to be the sniper anymore. And then they cross that line, and it's bink. All right, and that is it. So you have your quick feed drills. You're going to measure all those. You're going to write down those scores. You could use your phone for that. Write down week 1. He got a 31, a 26, and a 27, right? And then the wideouts, you got like a 26 something. 26 on the wideouts, and then the 10, you got a 169, and then 20, he'd probably run like a 27, and the 40, he'd probably run like a 47, 48. That'd be my guess. But that's all you do, and you write all those times down. Just bing, 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 bing. And then next week, you pull it out, you do it again. As always, guys, subscribe, turn on the notifications, share these videos with your teammates, with your coach, with your parents, or if you're the parent watching, share it with your kids. We are here to change the way that athletes train forever. All right, as always, be sure you subscribe to the channel. There's a little circle next to me on the right-hand side. Be sure that you're clicking that and you're subscribing to the channel right now. Turn on those notifications and leave a comment and let me know what sport you play, and I'll be reaching out shortly. Talk soon, guys.